Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to give you some unfortunate news. It appears that the rumors regarding Chisa's demise have been entirely true. Do you want to know why? It's because this unit is going to be the most useless unit in the game for another 40, 50 plus days. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten news about 3.0 and the new units Linne and Mourn. And one thing that's abundantly clear about these two characters' kits is that they have nothing at all to do with a single negative status. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these two units had no words at all shared about them regarding Frazzle, Fusion Burst, none of that. And it's pretty much confirmed by now they're not going to have anything to do with that in the game when they release in 3.0. And so what that means is that Chisa, the character that was released in version 2.8, will have only one team in the game for the next 50 plus days. Chisa, Chakona, and Kartithia. And the caveat of this team is that your Chisa needs to have her signature weapon. Otherwise, she is worse in this team than Arrow Rover. So this character, without her signature, is a downgrade on every single team in the game. She makes every single team worse without her signature. With her signature, she makes one team better than the previous free-to-play option. And you want to know how much better she is than Arrow Rover? It's like 4% better in team-wide damage calcs. You gotta pull a character, pull their weapon, and they're 5% better than the free-to-play option in one team and a downgrade for every other team. That was the state of Chisa when she released at the start of 2.8. And that will be the state of Chisa for all of 3.0. That will be the state of this character for all of the entirety of version 3.0. She's an upgrade on one team with her signature, an investment of 200 plus pulls to be 4% better than the free-to-play option, and she's gonna be like this for another 50 fucking days. This is the worst unit in the game. Anybody that pulled this unit literally has just given an interest-free loan to Kuro Games for however much they spent on her, because she doesn't do anything, and she will not do anything for the entire 3.0 fucking patch. And the only hope this character has is that 3.1 is entirely filled with negative status units. How insane is that for a unit who cost you 200 plus pulls for their kit and the characters surrounding the release to be scheduled so fucking badly that you pull her and she's only used on one team for over 70 days? And she's a downgrade, worse than Verena, Shorekeeper, any other option. Probably worse than Baija in some of the teams. And you want to know what the goofiest fucking thing is? Chakona and Kartithia are rerunning in 3.0. But the funniest thing is that if you already have them, then like, this unit is so useless. They're only giving you the reruns for Kartithia and Chakona. But if you already have them, this character has just been sitting here not doing anything. And the funniest part is that she's only going to continue breaking accounts into the future. Because I released this video over here. Is Chisa the next Shorekeeper? She would have been if 3.0 had negative status units. But right now, her value has literally cliff dove. And it's negative. She makes your account worse by pulling her. And then I released this video of her being a new player trap. Do you want to know why she's going to be an even worse new player trap now? Because there are probably some people that pulled her during 2.8, and now they're going to be like, shit, I saved up, I'm going to pull Chakona and Kartithia now. Unfortunately, these are two of the most hard-locked characters in the game. Kartithia works on no other team. She's extremely restrictive in the lineups that she can use. Unlike other 3.0 units, because if you pulled Chisa, you now have immense pressure as a new player to pull Chakona and Kartithia, and you might not get this unit, who literally is two characters for the price of one. She's a sub DPS that buffs the entire Toon Break archetype, and then she's also a main DPS too, and she's got two unique Sonata sets that lets her fill both roles on your roster. You are being disincentivized from pulling this unit, who's two fucking units in one. A BOGO 5-star unit because you pulled Chisa and now feel the need to actually make her useful by pulling Chakota and Kartithia. Because guess what? If you're a new player that pulled this piece of shit in 2.8, they're actually just a straight downgrade. And 3.0 is the only opportunity you have to build their team. But if you build their team, you're not building this fucking one. And I'm going to be real here. I think this unit is going to be one of the most valuable units in the history of the game. Read this fucking Sonata set, bro. Casting outro skill increases the incoming resonator's attack and grants additional attack based on their tune break boost. Doesn't this just seem like it's going to work? Linnea is going to be a sub DPS that works for a fuck ton of different characters. If she has a buff like this. I don't know. This sounds really general to me. So you got one of the most general sub DPSs, or looks like they're going to be one of the most general. They have a main DPS mode too. So if you're a new player, you don't have to make a sub DPS without a main DPS work. That sub DPS can just be the main DPS. And you're incentivized not to pull what looks to be one of the most valuable unit in the history of the game if you pulled this unit in 2.8. Do you see now how absolutely fucking cooked her potential is right now?
Scissors at the ready.
I don't really understand why they scheduled her in such a way. Because good golly gee, it really just seems like her release is going to screw over so many accounts and actually delay endgame progression by months for some really unlucky individuals. I just hope that if you're somebody that pulled Chisa and you don't have tools to make her work, you understand that there's probably a way better chance of you enjoying your account more and the tools that you have more by low-key just abandoning Chisa. I'm going to be honest. The sunk cost fallacy, ladies and gentlemen, the sunk cost fallacy of no return also applies here. It could just be better if you already pulled her to just let her go and pull somebody else in 3.0. Don't pull Kartithia. Don't pull Chakota. Just let her go. Because you want to know who else is rerunning in 3.0? Augusta and Yuno. And I'm gonna be honest, these two units have such a guaranteed amount of power, success in a variety of different roles for Yuno, and one of the best free-to-play teams in the game with her. All of these characters, Linnea, Yuno, Augusta, they're gonna be so much higher value than these two, it's unreal. And skipping Yuno, Augusta, or Linnea for Chakota Kartithia is actually breaking your account. I'm just gonna be honest. Skipping either of those three units to pull on some of the most restrictive lineups in the game, why would you do that as a newer player? I don't think anyone can disagree with me when I say these two are so much more valuable than these two. And then you add the BOGO 5-star unit Linnea into the mix who fills 2 roles on her teams. Good lord, bro. Just be careful. Be wise with your Radiant Tides. Be wise with your Asterite. Be wise with your exploration rewards. Because I'm telling you right now, this unit is going to make you do some dumb fucking things if you really are trying to make her work. You are actually going to fucking do some dangerous things to your account trying to make Chisa not a waste of Asterite. Chisa should have been the next Shorekeeper, but she's not. And you want to know the reason why? It's because she has no fucking teams in the game and we don't know when she's gonna fucking get them. Now, let's get to the final topical area. And that's the fact that Mourn could literally just be Chisa version 2. The reason why Chisa is such a dog shit pick is because her full abilities and her full power, you can't access any of them unless you have negative status characters on your team. And there's no negative status characters. Mourn literally has a mechanic where if a 3.0 unit that can trigger Tune Rupture or Tune Strain isn't on her team, she literally does not get buffs that are part of her kit. She cannot activate the buffs unless Tune, Strain, or Rupture is on her team. She can't apply it. Linnea is the only character in the game that can apply it by switching her modes. So for her to access her full buffs, she needs Linnea on her team. Remember what I just said? You need Linnea or another character that can apply these buffs. This means that if 3.1 has no tuned characters, and it probably shouldn't, because they need to release some fucking negative status units for this useless motherfucker. They have to release some new negative statuses. That means she's gonna only have one fucking team with Lene who can get her buffs for the same amount of time as Chisa did. So it's just another situation where these tailored supports have no fucking teams on their release, and so their value is through the fucking floor. And guess what, guys? Same thing with Mono Fusion. Because your Mono Fusion team ain't fucking applying Toon Rupture or Toon Strain. So good luck with those buffs that you're not getting on the Mono Fusion team. I think Mournier's design is arguably worse than Chisa's. But chances are, she's going to feel even worse than how Chisa feels right now when we get into 3.1. Because your only team that's going to be able to fully utilize her kit, guys, is with Lene, and it's probably going to be like that for 40 plus days. It's a rough situation to be a tailored support in Wuthering Waves, because I think that Kuro has actually completely bricked the release of both Mournier and Chisa, because the scheduling makes no sense. If 3.1 is more tune break characters that work with Mournier, then that means Chisa will go 2.8 to 3.2 with no teams. 90 whole, sorry, not even 90, 100 plus days for Chisa having only one team in the game and being a literal brick on your account. 100 plus fucking days. And so 3.1's negative status. Then you got Mournier then, who's gonna just they're just gonna fucking tag out. Hey, all right, your turn to be a brick. You're finally useful now, Chisa. All right, Mournier, get in here. Time to be a brick. They're just, you know that's what's going to happen. And I'm just questioning why they decided to release two tailored limited supports right after each other. It just doesn't make any fucking sense from a character design or banner perspective. Two heavily tailored limited supports right after each other. Brother, what are they doing? I already see this being one of the biggest conundrums for a lot of accounts very early on in this version, because we're already, let me just be honest with you here. This character's release is literally inexcusable. I don't understand what situation, how you can even justify a character having this few teams and being this fucking bad for all of 2.8 and then all of 3.0. It actually is kind of criminal, knowing how expensive this unit is, to just be better than Arrow Rover. She is a bare minimum, like 100 plus, typically 200 pulls, for her to be 4% better than Arrow Rover. This being her viability for over 90 days, it actually seems like malpractice. It actually seems like malpractice from the perspective of, it makes you question, does Kuro even want to make money? Because why would you pull a unit who's this fucking useless? And her uselessness and lack of teams was probably a huge reason for why certain people didn't pull her. And then they're releasing another support the next version later, who's literally gonna have the same exact issue that she has right now. One thing you can say is that this game is incredibly free-to-play friendly and incredibly budget friendly. Because instead of making units that you want to pull, they just make units that you want to skip. Who regrets pulling this unit? Just be honest. Who regrets pulling her? You all regret pulling her. Because you know she's useless. You know she is useless. She doesn't do anything. She's a downgrade in every team. She adds nothing to your account. She just takes resources and gives you nothing back. Can a guy cope, man? And this is why I said before, this character is a perfect representation of the sunk cost fallacy. She is the sunk cost fallacy. Because you spent all the pulls to get her and her weapon, you're pretending she's useful. You know you're lying to yourself. You know you're not telling the truth. She's not useful at all. She's the most useless character that has ever been released in the game. Rosia is better than her. Rosia is a better unit than her. That's unfucking believable. She might be the lowest value unit in the game. And Mournier has a lot of potential to quickly join her. I'm personally of the boat that Kuro needs to figure out these character releases. Having inherent parts of their kit tied behind other characters is pretty rough. I don't really like this at all. I'd rather that she be a more general, versatile character that works in a bunch of different teams, because that's more fun. It's fun being able to use my fucking characters. Maybe it's entirely different. Maybe these buffs in her kit are tiny for being locked behind 3.0 units. Maybe the buffs are tiny. But yeah, I'm personally scarred. And so I'm going into Mournier's banner. I'm going into her design and her reliance on tailored teammates like this character with a massive grain of salt. Because this unit has, like, straight up, I'm just getting mad at this point thinking about her. Because how is a character this fucking bad for this fucking long? It's inexcusable. I don't know what to say. I'm just speechless at this point. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.